guys, welcome back to the channel. Alright, so I have a flashlight review for you guys. Some of you guys already know I'm a big flashlight fan. I'm a flashlight nerd to a certain degree. I have a lot of different flashlights. Wowtac is technically supported by ThruNite, and I'm a big fan of ThruNite. As you can see here, I have the ThruNite TN40S. This is a search and rescue flashlight. I love this thing. I took this thing to Overland Expo a couple times actually. I love this thing for looking out in the forests when I'm walking around out there. Dominate the night with this sucker. So big fan of ThruNite, by the way. I tell a lot of my friends and family, you know, if you can't carry a gun for self-defense and to defend your family, carry a knife. And if you can't carry a knife, carry a good flashlight. And that's what this is. This is the Wowtac EDC flashlight. And as you can see here, this thing is pretty dang cool looking. And this one is a special one because it is a Black Scout Survival model. And if you don't know who Black Scout Survival is, he has a YouTube channel with about 260,000 subscribers right now. And he specializes in survival and prepping. And he's a military veteran. And basically, they work together to build him a tactical flashlight, an EDC flashlight to his specs. And I really like what they came up with because this thing is really cool. I'm already a fan of flashlights, EDC flashlights with strike bezels. This is an Olight striker. This is the M1X striker. Been carrying that for a long time. And this just kind of steps it up because this thing has a really wicked strike bezel. Look at that. That is a steel strike bezel. These teeth are like shark's teeth. And you can actually sharpen these if you wanted to, if you really wanted to get wicked. And that's cool. Another nice thing about this flashlight is that it's hard coat anodized T60, 61, T6 aluminum. Hard anodized in black. Really durable. I've been carrying this thing for over a month now here in Las Vegas. Just as my EDC flashlight and also on duty. So this has been a work flashlight for me as well, and it's performed great. The reason why it's considered a tactical flashlight, if you don't already know, is because it has a tail clicky on the back to activate it. Pretty much a must-have if you're going to carry a firearm and a flashlight. You really need to have a tail activated flashlight. Now this one pumps out 1050 lumens on max, which is pretty impressive. Are there flashlights out there that put out more with a single 18650 rechargeable battery? Yeah, sure, there's a few out there, but in my experience, you don't really need super high lumens. 1050 is super high. I mean, 600 lumens is a lot. I mean, a handgun with a 600 lumen flashlight, I'll tell you right now, is pretty much too much. Search a vehicle, go down a hallway with a handgun with 600 lumens on it, and you'll see that it's almost too much. It blinds you, it bounces off walls, and affects the person who's using the light. Of course, having 1050 lumens shining at a bad guy is always a good thing, but again, you know, when you're working in the dark and your eyes have already adjusted to nighttime operations, these flashlights can really mess with your eyes, even the user, because you know the light bounces off of all kinds of things. So you just have to be aware of how to use the flashlight properly. All right, so let's just go front to back. Like I said, the strike bezel is steel, which is nice. Now here's the cool part about this flashlight. If you're traveling somewhere where you can't have a strike bezel, say you're going to I don't know, maybe you're going on vacation to, like, say, the UK, where they don't let you have anything for self-defense, and you want to bring this flashlight though, well, you can actually take off the strike bezel and it comes right off, and then you can use the flashlight just like a normal flashlight. And if you had to defend yourself with this, it is a piece of metal in your hand. You could still strike with this thing and punch if you had to, but you don't have to worry about that evil looking strike bezel. But if you're going somewhere in the United States, as far as I know, all 50 states don't have any regulations on these strike bezels as far as I know. I've been to New York and LA and Hawaii and all kinds of places in between. I never had an issue with the strike bezel flashlight. The lens is an anti-reflective coated ultra clear toughened glass lens. The reflector is smooth, and the LED is a CREE XP V6 LED. And it's relatively small but very, very powerful. Like I said, pumping out 1050 lumens. On the head here you can see the Black Scout Survival logo. It's an Indian head, like a chief's head, on a arrowhead surrounded by some feathers, which is pretty cool. And then on the other side it says Wowtac BSS, which is Black Scout Survival version 3. The body measures, let's see, roughly about 5¼ inches in length, probably a little shorter, so actually just at 5 inches if you take off the strike bezel. And the diameter is about 1 inch. It depends on where you measure this thing, but in general it's about 1 inch in diameter. Up here towards the head, there's not an activation switch on the side, which is unique. It does have flats here to keep it from rolling away if you did drop this on the ground. Then the body here has some knurling, pretty standard on most flashlights. If you get sweaty or bloody, you can still grip this thing pretty good. It has a steel spring pocket clip that is in the bezel down position only. Some flashlights you'll be able to take this off and put it on this side, so you can clip this thing either in your pocket upside down, which I don't know why guys would do that, but some people do, or you could clip it onto the bill of your hat so you can have a head mounted flashlight. This one doesn't do that. This is pretty much dedicated just for EDC carry. So one of the things I really like about the Wowtac Black Scout Survival EDC flashlight is that the mode button is in the back, and as soon as you hit the button it goes straight into strobe. I like that, because say you're holding this in a fighting position. This is how you would hold the flashlight in a fighting position. You're ready to strike, right? This is how you'd hold it. Well, if you wanted to strobe somebody with this, you could just use your trigger finger here to hit that strobe, just like that. Or you could use your thumb, just like that. And then if you had to strike, you're ready to go. There's no double taps or triple taps to get that strobe. You're on it, ready to go. Now, for example, this is the Olight Striker, which I absolutely love, but this thing does not go to strobe when you hit the mode button. For one, you have to hold it in more like a search kind of holding style here. That's what I call it anyways, like you're just doing a search. You hit that side button and nothing happens. It doesn't strobe. So there's a little bit of a delay on this thing. You have to actually turn it on and then go to strobe. Whereas this one, you can hit this thing, boom, and you're ready to go. Boom, you're ready to go. There's no hesitation. I love that. That's awesome. And then at the back here, here's your tail clicky. Obviously, you can do momentary just by soft touching it, no click. And then if you want to lock it into the on position, you just click it on, just like a standard flashlight. All right, so let's fly through the modes real quick. You're going to turn it on and get 1050 lumens. And that's going to be on for 2.7 hours. Hit the mode button again. You're going to go to medium, which is 208 lumens for 8 hours. That's actually really good. 8 hours. That's a whole shift right there. You can have this thing on for a whole shift and still have good workable lumens at 208 lumens. Hit it again for low. That's going to be 22 lumens for 2.5 days. And if you're in a cave for 2.5 days, hey, at least you have a lot light. That's pretty good. Or if you're stuck in a building, I don't know, you've got light for 2.5 days. That's pretty good. Now, some of you flashlight nerds out there want to know the candela instead of lumens. The candela on this one is 12,150 candela max. Wowtac advertises this flashlight to be drop resistant from 1 meter height. I have dropped this flashlight already from my pocket height, and it got a little bit of scuffs on here, and survived just fine. As you can see, still runs. And I dropped it on cement, as a matter of fact, and it actually held up really good. And it's got a little ding right there, but other than that, hasn't broken yet. Wowtac says that this flashlight is waterproof down to 1 meter. It's IPX7 rated, and I'm not an expert on IPX ratings, but I've heard they're all over the place sometimes. But still, if it's waterproof down to 1 meter, I'm happy with that. You know, an EDC flashlight is meant to go everywhere you go. This is not a dive light, so if you take this out camping, hiking, hunting, whatever, if you get stuck in a rainstorm, it's not going to get damaged. That's all you really care about, or at least that's all I really care about. Something to note about Wowtac as a company, they actually offer a 30-day return to the factory. Not the company you bought it from, but actually to the factory. So that's pretty cool. And then they also have a 2-year service plan on their flashlights. So in the 2 years that you own the flashlight, if you have any service issues with the flashlight, they'll actually take care of you there as well, which is cool. You do have to pay for shipping, I believe, but for the most part, if you need a new lens, a new LED, whatever, new battery in there, that something happened to your battery or the switches, you can send it into the factory and they'll take care of you and send you out a new one so you can get back to work. Pretty cool. And lastly, let's take a look what comes in the box. It's just a simple cardboard box. You can get this in a couple different versions. You can get cool white or neutral white. Alright, so let's take a look on the inside. You actually have to unscrew the head on this one. Usually the tail caps will come off. On this one, the head comes off. And when you look inside, you'll see that you have a 18650 lithium ion rechargeable battery. But this one's a little bit different. This is a 3400 milliamp battery, but if you look close right there, you will see a USB charge port. You'll take your wire and you'll plug your battery in like that, and then you'll plug this in to either your computer, laptop, you know, if you have a power pack or something, and you charge it just like that. That's actually pretty cool. Now, one of the things you got to be aware of, you have to put this battery in the proper way. Negative goes in first, the red end goes in first. And you just screw it in like that, and you're back in business. Now, some people like to have a flashlight that you can plug in just like that. On the side, there's like a little rubber flap you open up and then you plug it in. Some people like that. Or it unscrews and then it reveals a USB port. And then you can charge it up and then screw it back on. Some people like that. I will tell you, if you're taking this flashlight to hell and back, say you're taking this to Afghanistan or something, you know, something extreme, you're going to want a flashlight that doesn't have an external charge port, because no matter what you do to try to protect that rubber charge port cover, it's going to rip off. I mean, it's just a fact of life. So it's actually nice to have nothing here that you can strip, rip, or break off. That's nice. Yeah, you got to take the battery out and charge it, but you know, who cares at that point? I recommend always having multiple batteries, so you know, you don't have to worry about it. You need a new battery, just take the new battery and put it in and you're ready to go, and just leave the other one charging. So check this out. It actually comes with a lens protector, and it's actually a red lens. So you can take the bezel off, screw this on. So for you guys that need red light for low light operations, you can actually change this thing to red. Alright, so let's take the Black Scout Survival EDC flashlight outdoors and show you what it looks like in the dark. So like I said, the Black Scout Survival EDC flashlight is intended for self-defense. If you had to use this to fight somebody off of you or deter somebody, that's really how you should be using your flashlight, is to deter crime from happening before you even get attacked or assaulted. If you're a female walking back to your car, you should have this flashlight in your hand already. Don't leave your office with this in your purse. Take it out and have it in your hand. So when you walk out to your parking lot, you can start flashing this thing around corners and bushes and other cars. And if there's somebody out there, they can see that you got your head on right. You're actually being proactive, looking for threats, you know, or in and around your car. Search the back seat, all that good stuff, you know. The killers in the movies are always in the back seat, right? Shine the light in the back seat, make sure there's nobody back there, you know. And then for guys out there that are using this to just go on patrol, maybe you're a cop, maybe you're a security guard, yeah, this thing really performs well out there. As you can see in close quarters, And then as you can see, if you're trying to go a long distance out in big wide open spaces, this is not a search and rescue light, but it actually does fairly well in wide open spaces. So pretty good out in the field. Alright guys, so there you have it. That is my review of the Black Scout Survival V2 by Wowtac, which is supported by ThruNite. This is a fantastic EDC flashlight. Like I said, if you can't carry a gun, carry a knife. And if you can't carry a knife, you should always have a really good self-defense flashlight. And I think the Black Scout Survival by Wowtac is a phenomenal choice, guys. To learn more about this flashlight, go ahead and click on the website. I'm going to put in a link below this video. And if you want to buy this flashlight, click on the links again that I'm going to put in the description box below this video. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button to support my channel. I really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. And leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the Black Scout Survival by Wowtac. Thanks a lot, guys. Stay safe.